Welcome to Whisky.com, where fine spirits meet. My name is Lüning, Horst Lüning. I'm the master taster of Whisky.com, and today we have an experimental bottle of Glenfiddich here on my cask. It's called the EPA. 43% ABV, priced in the mid-60s, euros, dollars, pounds. And, why it's called IPA? Well, it's Indian Pale Ale. That's a special form of beer. Most of you will know that. And this whiskey was finished in Indian Pale Ale casks. So here we have the EPA front, and they say Experimental Series 1. Well, I tasted the Experimental Series 2 in front of this one, and I missed to read that label first. Otherwise, I would have changed the sequence in tasting, but I do not like beer very much. So I'm not a beer drinker, and I do not like these bitter hops. And therefore, I put this whiskey last in today's series because I suggested for myself that this hoppy taste will stay for longer and will influence the other whiskeys I had before. So, pale ale, cask finish, zesty and hoppy. And the first single malt finish in Indian Pale Ale craft beer casks. Zesty citrus notes with a hint of fresh hops. There had been a Grant's blend 10-15 years ago, which the company Grant's, or the brand Grant's, is owned by William Grant and Son as well, the owners of Glenfiddich. So there had been a beer cask finished or matured whiskey from the house of Glenfiddich in former times, but this might not have been an Indian Pale Ale, but probably kind of lager, and it wasn't a single malt which was finished. When Brian Kinsman, our malt master, met an entrepreneurial Speyside craft brewer, they hit it off immediately, and it didn't take long for a genius idea to form. Experimental and untraditional, Brian suggested creating a Glenfiddich whiskey finished in an IPA craft beer cask, something never done in the industry before. When started as a quirky idea, had turned into an intensive experiment. Not only did they create a pioneering new whiskey with unique zesty citrus notes and the subtle hint of fresh hops, but they also created a pioneering new craft beer in the process, too. This has a weird print with sparks and marks in it, so it's difficult to read. It's this recycling style. This malt is proof that great things happen when great minds meet. Brrr. Vibrant with a zesty citrus note, followed by soft sweet vanilla and a hint of fresh hops. Experiment over ice with a twist of blood orange. Translated into real-world speech, that will not taste neat, you have to mix it. And cold, you will not smell everything out of it. No, just making a joke. As I said, I do not like hops, and relatives a little far away, they own a hop growing farm, and when there is harvest time, I visit them and we have a look at the hops, and there's a substance called lublin, I think, in it, which brings the bitterness, and smelling is wonderful, but as soon as you taste it, it's bitter. Whoa. And this I do not like. So there's no smoke in it. I often warn you if I have a whiskey with a bitter edge in it, mostly from the oak casks in which the whiskey matures, because I do not like bitterness. Well, I like the bitterness of dark chocolate, I like the bitterness of cocoa, but I do not like the bitterness of beer. So there's a difference in those tastes, and therefore I have this whiskey with a lot of skepticism. So don't trust me. I'm a non-beer drinker, and I think most of you on the other side of the lens will be beer drinkers. So I try to be objective, but I can't. Yeah. And sorry for the fan in the lamp. I'm just experimenting with a new lamp in front of my green screen. So it's a full aroma, hoppy, little spicy, but the zestiness of citrus fruit is present in the nose, and vanilla is showing through, so there are fresh casks used, which give a lot of vanilla. Yeah. Wow, old beer. No, just making a joke. There is a light beer note. There's this hoppy note in it. There's spiciness from the casks. And, well, yeah, and now in the aftertaste, some bitterness from the hops rise and stay to the roof of my mouth. Yeah, there are hops definitely in it, and I have no idea how wet the casks were when they were refilled with the Glenfiddich whiskey. No idea. Yeah. So not my whiskey, not my favorite whiskey. If you like Indian Pale Ale, this might be the perfect whiskey for you. Yeah, if you're a wine drinker, no. Just take the Experiment 20, which I had just 10 minutes ago here in my cask. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned as always and share this video with your friends, and please give comments in our forum and in our whiskey database about the whiskies you had.